This is my job, Ed.
You think so? That's funny. I don't think so. I think it's your problem.
Welcome to the Regular or Menthol podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Big Chris.
Hello, folks.
We give our thoughts on the movie, our experience with it growing up. Then we discuss specific scenes that we liked, followed up with our very own Kino rating. Today, we're discussing the movie The Color of Money from 1986, starring Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. Yeah, I'll say that. Big Chris, how you doing there, bud?
Doing well. I think it's pronounced Mastrantonio, like
Mastrantonio.
Mastrantonio. But I could be wrong.
Commander.
Could be wrong. I don't know.
I'll just refer to it as a Master and Commander. This podcast.
Literally, we just review Master and Commander every week. That'd be awesome. That movie's coming up too. That's like one of my favorites. Doing well. So, listen to this. It was 2 nights ago, I think it was. Monday night? Yeah. Did you get a ton of rain, wind your way?
I got all the wind. I said, oh my God, it's getting windy out there. This is spooky.
Dude.
Hope the lights don't go out.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? So we're finishing this show. It's a streaming show. And with like 5 minutes left, when like the end of the episode gets good, we lose Wi-Fi. The wind starts going crazy. We're both looking out the front door. And I'm like, I guarantee we lose POW. And as soon as I say POW, it just went gone.
POW.
So, yeah. It was. So we're kind of hoping it doesn't go out because, you know, my daughter would wake up scared. It's like this whole thing. So I wake up the next morning, I go down, you know, do our normal routine, putting lunches together and everything. And I look out the side window, and between me and my neighbor's house, there's a fucking tree that's down. And now it's like half the tree, but it's still just lying between our houses. And I'm like, bro, all the trash from the neighborhood, because it was trash day prior, has culminated by this tree and the branches. And I'm like, dude, there's a good chance that this doesn't get taken care of because it's on the neighbor's side of between. And I'm like, probably for 2 or 3 weeks. It's not going to get done.
I know what you're thinking.
What?
I know you're thinking that I should just do this myself.
I threw it by my wife. I'm like, okay, if he doesn't get it done this weekend, because it's going to be nice, I'm just going to be like, yeah, dude, if you don't want to do this, I'll just chop it down, throw it out back.
Are you axe billed?
Oh, I am. But I'm saying I would, the part of the tree that's fallen, I would just cut it up and just throw it in the woods behind us.
Yeah.
Which I would assume he would have done already. But hey, you know, can't tell people what to do.
There's nothing better than just throwing shit in your backyard.
Like the woods behind
that sounds kind of wild, but like I have a creek in my parents' backyard, and they're always talking about like throwing stuff. Oh, are we allowed to throw this out? Gee whiz. And I'm just about to throw it in the creek.
But yeah, unless if you're my dad, because there's farmland behind our house. They have like, I think an acre and a half, my parents, but behind them directly is a couple acres and then the woods. And this guy has just over the years taken upon himself to just keep driving our tractor down with the wagon and just keep going further and further down. And then he just starts making his way back up. And now he just doesn't even care because he's old. And I'll just throw it right in front of the woods there. Doesn't give a shit. So he's like made his own landfill. I'm like, bro. He's a madman, bro. That's what he does. But anyway, so yeah. Did you have any damage?
I didn't have any damage. Like the lights flickered at one point, which is surprising because my power goes out all the time.
Bro.
With no rhyme or reason. To the point where last time the power went out when I was working, and Pico called me, or maybe they texted me, and they were like, power's not going to come back on until 2 hours later.
Yeah, you get
I came back on 20 minutes. But I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to get a shower and go into the office. And when I'm in the shower, though, I'm like, is this it? Is it finally happening?
The happening.
Is
2 more
the
weeks.
happening upon us, sir?
2 more
Am I going to have to wait? Yeah, forget going in the office. I'm going down to the store, the co-op. I'm grabbing all the honey, all the
raw milk,
all the canned goods,
with the raw milk,
and the raw milk, and we're riding out. We're riding it out. We could be having paratroopers any moment. This is the kind of insane thoughts I have 10 minutes after the power goes out.
They would have to hit the grid first, right?
I don't know. They might have bombs now, like the one in Ocean's 11, where they can just set it off and it shuts the power off.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this. I saw this video. And I was like, World War III is here. People just don't know yet. And I'm like, 2 more weeks, bro. 2 more weeks. When are these people going to learn, dude? 2 more weeks.
Alex Jones keeps calling it World War IV. I'm like, did he skip
Superseded?
one? What was 3?
These people just don't know, bro. They haven't said, it's like, bro, first time? Is this your first time?
First time?
No. That ain't happening.
First 2 more weeks?
Anyway, let's get into this movie. Tell me about The Color of Money.
Well, old pool hustler Eddie Felson has retired from the game for a life of being a liquor salesman. Due to his extensive knowledge of hustling, he stays in the scene and stakes certain players. After being impressed by newcomer Vince, he decides to take him and his girlfriend on the road to go on a pool hustling tour. Due to Vince not being able to understand how to lose, Eddie finally leaves them and decides to just get a glasses prescription. Now, with the power of glasses, he himself goes to Atlantic City to play in the pool tournament. Due to being cheated out of his victory over Vince, Eddie forfeits the tournament in order to play Vince at his best with no holding back.
That's all.
That's
the moral of this entire movie. That's it.
Did that make any sense to you?
No, but it's how it happens in the movie. So.
Yeah, exactly. At one point, I was like, dude, what is actually going on in this movie?
Well, let's talk about it.
Well, gee whiz, one of the first instances of a big Hollywood sequel they did 25 years later, right? The difference being... The Hustler, right. This case was successful and actually a good movie compared to the tripe that they put out now.
Yeah.
Think about, for a second, just stop and think about Happy Gilmore 2.
Mm-hmm. Didn't see it. Don't think I will.
Neither did. Now, why didn't you see it?
Because I have a sixth sense for shit like that to tell myself, nah. I didn't even watch any reviews on it. I mean, I the typical reviewers that I watch, I don't know if they really shit on it, but I'm like, dude, it's not for me. The one is a class. The first one's a classic. The only one. I don't need a 2. Don't need them to just reposition all the jokes and just do all the nostalgia bits. It's going to be the same thing. I already saw it. What do I need to? I don't need to see a new version of it.
The only reason I had basically the exact same reaction to hearing about Happy Gilmore 2. I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch any clips of it. I don't care. I don't want to ruin the idea of Shooter McGavin in my mind.
Simple as. It's the truth.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, I have very fond memories of seeing the original Happy Gilmore in the theater with my sister. Now, imagine, if you will, you saw the original The Hustler in theaters. You got super obsessed with pool hustling.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, after 25 years, the sequel comes out. And not only is it good, but it's dominant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I can vibe with that. And it's like, I don't know. I know that Happy Gilmore is a sequel, so I can't really speak to it because I didn't watch the movie. But like I said, from what my understanding, they just repurposed all the jokes. Just what you expect to have happen just for them to make a buck is apparently what happens.
Too many cringe callbacks.
Cringe callbacks. Love it. But no, dude, this movie reminds me of like my senior year of high school. Me and my best friend would go to, there's like these 2 different pool halls in like the neighboring towns. And it was more him than me, but we would just go like random weeknights and just go play pool. And I was like, this is a vibe. Because you have nothing else really to do in high school. So it's like, dude, let's go play pool. And the one was like a shop. This guy had, it's like a family-owned shop on the one side, and the other side is like a pool hall, like a couple tables. Like, this is kind of badass. I really wish I would have went there more. But ironically enough, it's funny because through social media, this other kid I went to high school with ends up being like a legitimate pool player. And he'll regularly post things like tournaments and stuff. I'm like, how do you find out that you're a really good pool player? And it's funny because he's the dude. He'd be like, there's no way this kid would end up being a pool player. But at the same time, I'm like, yes, that makes sense that this would be a kid to become like a random amateur pool player.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And I have often posed that same question. Now, pool seems to be right on the edge
Oh, yeah.
of what I'm talking about, but I would
I know
always
what you're
pose the question, how do you know that you're not the Michael Jordan of like bobsledding? You would never bobsled because it's such a random, weird thing, niche thing to do.
Yeah. We
But
talked
what
about
if
this.
you were the
We talked
Michael
about this
Jordan of it?
before on this podcast where you throw axes. You're an axe thrower. You're an axe guy.
Right. I might be
You're elite.
I'm elite. So with pool, though, it's a little bit more accessible to the normal person because you kind of see him in bars and stuff and you can start playing. But I feel like it's the rare person that just becomes obsessed with pool because I feel like you're either really a naturally good person at pool or you just obsessively practice at it while you're at the bar, right? It's one of two avenues of being good at pool.
Well, I was going to mention this, and while I was watching it, it's like, how much do you think confidence plays into it? I mean, there's certainly muscle memory and geometry, I guess. But what do you think of confidence being a part of pool?
100%. It's a massive part of the game because a lot of it is mental, where you don't want to choke.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in your own head while you're shooting these shots, right? So confidence plays a big role in I think not just the moxie of going up against another person, but also confidence that you have this kind of muscle memory.
That's what it is, dude.
You're not consciously thinking of shooting these shots. It's more
it is
an unconscious thing.
Because think about golf. It's way bigger of a field of play. And then you have wind factor, all these other, the sandbox or whatever those are, sand traps. So with this, it's like a finite table. It's small. Your muscle memory knows these shots and if you can make it or not. And it's like a game of millimeters. Like it's so tiny.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So what do you think of these two as far as chemistry, Cruise and Newman? Because I'm like, does this chemistry work? Like, did these two actually work well together? And I kind of, at the beginning of the movie, was like, eh. And by the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, it works. It's almost because I think they don't work that it works.
I feel like there's parts in the movie where you're seeing a very young Tom Cruise, new to this craft, and he's up against Paul Newman, and he's doing his damnedest to keep up.
Right.
And then at some point, it's like you see this transition where, okay, I kind of believe Tom Cruise.
Mm.
Whereas earlier in the movie, I'm like, I think Tom Cruise is trying to keep up a little bit too much.
Yeah.
When Paul Newman takes him out to dinner initially, during the beginning of the movie. But then the chemistry kind of grows on me a little bit further on as the movie goes.
I agree.
So, and I'm not sure if that's really due to their initially not being as much chemistry or if it's just due to me being thrown off by how naive of a character Vince is.
Right.
I'm like, I don't really see this kind of naive character that much in movies. So it throws me off a little bit.
It is an interesting dynamic. We'll get into it later. Do you remember the first time watching this movie? First time you saw this movie?
I just had this vague memory of watching this with my dad in the 90s. And then
you watch
about half
with your dad, dude.
I've watched The Hustler before this, but like a number of years before this. So I might have been really young when I watched The Hustler.
Yeah.
And then it maybe was like, I don't know, the mid to late 90s when I watched this. And realizing halfway through that it was a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, wait a second. That's kind of weird. It almost doesn't seem like a sequel.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it's the same character, because he's such an older man.
Right.
In this movie that you're at least I was thrown off a little bit.
25 years.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Yourself?
I can't. I saw it on TV a long time ago, and honestly, I didn't remember most of it watching it back today. So let's call it today. I watched it straight through. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it was a good refresher. Literally me character. Who do you got?
I don't really vibe with anyone.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't really.
Not too many.
It's kind of like a totally. I mean, we talk about this all the time. A foreign world, a completely different world.
Right.
And I didn't understand anyone. There was no schizophrenic character in this movie, so that's
it. That's literally, if there's not, then you can't vibe with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Myself, I got to go with Moselle, or is that how you pronounce it? Moselle. The dude he's got an absolute vibe that I can appreciate. He's got a cowboy hat, Hawaiian shirt, right? And he's got this nose piercing and this like above the ear piercing. And he's in the middle of Chicago in the 80s. He's literally me.
Yeah.
He's got a vibe.
He's got a swagger about him. He's the top stick at this one pool hall. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And he definitely has a great look.
Oh, yeah. Fun facts. Let's get into these. At one point in the film, Eddie comments it has been 15 years since he last played. In real life, it was 25 years from 1961 to 1986, since which you mentioned, The Hustler, where Newman had first played Fast Eddie. Martin Scorsese said that he mainly did this at the insistence of Paul Newman and to prove that he could make a mainstream studio picture that would finish on time and be under budget. He felt that considering his minimal input, that it would not be a personal picture, and he was more or less a hired gun on this, right? So I didn't know this going into it, but this is a Paul Newman movie. Like, he pushed for it. I don't know if he was a producer on it or whatever, but this was like his whole passion piece. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, dude, it's not going to be difficult to finish on time and stay under budget because nothing happens in this movie. Like, there's just a bunch of exterior shots in downtown Chicago, and there's a bunch of interior pool hall shots. Mm-hmm. What else is there to shoot? So it's not going to be that difficult to stay ahead of schedule and under budget, but thought that was funny.
Did you notice that Paul Newman was 61 years old when making this?
Can I tell that he's 61? Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's hard to tell.
He kind of looks like an old guy.
Yeah, with older films, especially like 70s, 80s films, it's real difficult to gauge people's ages, man. The look is so different. The style is so different. It's like, I don't even know. These dudes could be 100 for all I know. Or they could just be 12 and they look like they're 60. You know?
To me, it seems like they look older in older movies.
Yeah. Fair.
And I'll kind of explain. Do you think it's plausible that this guy is basically a ladies' man in this movie, despite being so old?
Well, he is. I mean, he's got that swagger. Yeah. Like, he has so much confidence that the one scene where Carmen is she's seemingly flirting with him, he just grabs her and just like power move, and she's like, "Get off me." He's like, "You know you want to," but he doesn't like lean into it in a cringe way. He's just like proving his point. He's like, "We're business partners. I'm not trying to have the sex with you." So, I mean, it's Paul Newman we're talking about, you know? Guys like that era's like Chad, I guess. I don't know.
I can believe it. To me, it works. Perhaps, I was saying earlier, though, like, I was thinking, this is because it's in the mid-'80s, though. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if they remade this movie today and there's a 61-year-old guy, and I'm assuming that he's he's having some Zoomer 20-year-old girl hit on him, flirting with him?
Yeah.
It seems almost unbelievable. And I think the reason is because people in their 20s look younger, and I guess people in their 60s look younger, but at least I think there's that barrier. Once you hit 60, you actually start aging for real.
It's true.
No matter what Hollywood cocktail you're on. One person I might add, though, that could maybe pull this off is Brad Pitt.
Well, how about the guy in the movie? Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is looking old now, dude.
Is he? Starting to show his face? Yeah, I mean...
He's starting to show.
Given F1, how old is Brad Pitt in F1?
61.
I think he's 61. Either 60 or 61. I'm like, there's
he's
no way.
He's 62 right now.
That's insane, bro. This dude looks like he might be late 40s.
His body looks super fit. His face doesn't look like that old. Like, yeah, he's showing some age, but it's not that bad. Like, he could pass as like a dude in his 40s.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so that could be plausible, I guess, but that's one man. That is one man. Brad Pitt.
Let's get into some of these Kino scenes here. This opening scene, okay, again, because like I'm watching it almost newly today. I'm like, this is an insane opening scene, right? So Paul Newman, you got like this, he's like the perfect traveling salesman, pool shark, and of all things, he's selling liquor. So he's just kind of hitting on the barmaid, right? And he's got this like Kino look to him. He's got the suit, right? The nice suit, that we'll touch on later, I'm sure. The mustache, these shades that he's rocking. I'm like, this guy gets it, right? Then you have Tom Cruise, super high energy, a young Tom Cruise doing karate, playing video games in between. Like, it's like it's like his shot and he's playing this video game in between shots. It's like, what, dude?
Yeah.
Super high energy. And then you have John Turturro with a beard, and all out of nowhere comes on One More Night by Phil Collins. I'm like, that's refreshing. Thoughts on Phil Collins? You a Phil Collins guy?
Big Phil Collins guy
Yes.
makes things very keynote. I mean, I'm also a big Miami Vice guy.
Fair enough.
So, there you have it. Phil Collins, known for that Miami Vice scene and being an extra a character on Miami Vice and whatnot. Big Phil Collins guy, but
this
speaking
scene
of
is
Phil
just
Collins,
so crazy to me. It's just, I'm like, what is going on with this movie?
the vibes of it is just incredible. But I think that, we could talk about this many times during this podcast, but let's do a shot every time you hear me talk about 80s bars.
Well, yeah.
I think that's part of the allure for me when watching this. The appeal is this 80s bar that they're in. Sets the stage. There's no TVs. There's just vibing.
Yep. What were you saying about Phil Collins? God, sorry.
Phil Collins is a guy who basically gets over in movies for his music and everything, but he looks like some dude's 50-year-old dad.
Okay, dude, I always thought
suburban dad.
Not the guy.
And
That's the
he's
same thing
on
with, like,
stage
Dave
just
Matthews.
killing it.
Yeah.
He's on stage just like bopping along,
He rules.
dancing all over the place. I'm like, this guy rules. Like, he just looks like some normal every guy.
Yeah, Genesis is the shit. No question about it.
Dad, did you take notice though in this first scene where Eddie's barely paying attention? Tom Cruise is behind him playing pool, and he's doing some very strange thing with the pool cue as he's shuffling around, acting like he's attacking something like a wild animal. It's like he's acting like he's stabbing a wild animal. Then he points the cue under the table and is seemingly acting like he's just scooting some animal out and stabbing it. I'm like, what the hell is going on in this scene? Is this an early glimpse into the unhinged, couch-jumping mind of Tom Cruise?
That's couch jumping mind, dude. I remember that. It's so funny you bring that up. You have to wonder, is this because it seems like Paul Newman had, this is a Scorsese film, so obviously he had the end all say, but it makes you wonder, would these two on set having a vision of what they want? Are they telling Tom Cruise to just act like an ADHD child, or is it just taking it on himself to be like, all right, dude, I'm going to just use my pool stick as like nunchucks? It's
the eternal question.
Hell of a
the
thing
eternal question, right? Based on Tom Cruise and his later exploits in life, his later insanity on screen. Yeah, there was the best video of all time. Tom Cruise 10-minute Scientology video, incredible.
Yeah.
Based on that, I'm willing to go make a leap here that Tom Cruise is doing this on his own.
Well, I'd have to imagine. Yeah, it's just funny that him being so young. I don't know how much of a star he was at this point, but them just being like, all right, yeah, that's gonna look good on camera. Let's go with that. This character works. I guess just because that's what made me wonder about this whole dynamic is Newman. He's very nuanced, and his character is very reserved. He's a seasoned vet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got this dude. He's just jumping off the walls, dude. It's so funny to watch.
Eddie, he takes Vince and Carmen out to dinner because he realizes this Vince guy is pretty good at pool. I can't help but notice that in this scene, Tom Cruise's cheekbones they're protruding to an insane level. This begs the question, though. Is Tom Cruise a Chad? Is 5'7" really cutting it? Is it stopping him from full Chad status? And does his insane commitment to the game supersede his height? Tell me, as an official Chad yourself.
The game of pool? Or the game of what?
No, the game of acting. Like, this guy goes harder in the game of like preparing for a role. And like, I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I'm not sure, but does that affect him just being like really good at acting? I mean, it's a bold statement. Tom Cruise good at acting. I just think his commitment to acting is so powerful that it probably just supersedes the fact that he's Sure.
The first time, I don't know if that has anything to do with it for me. I mean, they had this guy stand on soapboxes half the time, apparently from back in old Hollywood. But my first memory of Tom Cruise was Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That I can recall. And I'm like, okay, I like this guy, I like this character. A little more nuanced at that point. But I'll go Tom Cruise as a Chad. Okay. I mean, this guy, he's that, I spoke about before, but confidence, you know what I mean? And what he does. He's always entertaining. You put a movie on with him, you're going to be entertained. I know that our buddy Rybicki would disagree that this guy does not like Tom Cruise. He's never given me a valid reason as to why, but I know that he doesn't like him. That being said, I mean, I have no problem with Tom Cruise. He's not going to draw me to the box office for sure. It's like, oh, a new Tom Cruise movie's coming out. But again, as you mentioned, what's he starring in lately? Mission Impossible 12? Like,
basically.
Is there anything? I mean, he does all these sci-fi movies throughout the years. On that level, he's good. He's not great, but he's entertaining. So I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I like him. You know, he's right in the middle of the road for me.
I kind of had the same exact reaction that you just had. I feel the same way, except for the fact that I was like, I saw Collateral in the movie theater, and I'm like, this is literally me. I am literally Vincent from Collateral. Yo, homie, is that my briefcase? Like, that's my guy right there. And I'm like, this is Tom Cruise as a bad guy with gray hair.
Yeah.
Gray suit.
Absolutely. That's a good role. And I actually liked him in Vanilla Sky, crazy enough. I saw that like a long, long time ago. I'm like, this is a decent movie. I thought does a good job in that. Like,
he's got some solid flicks, man.
Yeah. No, you can't hate on him. He's a good actor. So then Eddie naturally sleeps with the barmaid. But I like these next two sequences, right? He's talking to her and Carmen. It's like he's consumed by Vincent, but he can't decide whether he's in on helping him, right?
Yeah.
Like, he knows he's got talent, but is it worth investing the time? Does Vincent even want it at this point in the film? Like, that's what really sets this whole thing up, is the evolution of the character, where it seems like he's this old vet, right? It's like, we covered it. What's the bowling movie with
Kingpin?
Kingpin. Jeez, I can't remember. It's like, he's like, you could see all that from just by me bowling one frame. He's like, no, I heard it. Right. So he's like, when you know. So this is kind of the same thing. But I mean, it's interesting. It sets the characters up for them both really nicely.
This man, he has raw talent. He has the charisma, but can he lose on purpose? Does he have the ability to swallow his pride and lose on purpose? That's the hesitation.
Right. And we'll get to that later in the episode. But Eddie and Vincent are talking at his job. I guess he's got this warehouse job. And for me, two things stand out here. Number one, Vince has this black t-shirt with Vince in bold written across the front. And like, all right, that's kind of weird, right? But then his coworker interrupts him and it just says Lou. Like, this is a proper uniform that we need to bring back. Like, forget the, polo shirt with the name of the logo of your company and then your name on it, bro. Forget that. Just write Vincent and Lou on the front. And he wears it later in the movie. Like, dude, this is it right here, man. This is the look.
Yeah. And it actually works in his favor because it's this cocky kind of move. If you're a pool player and you just have a shirt with your name written across it in huge font, it is kind of a wild charisma move.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
I see that. I'm like, is this a real actual thing that they took this from? Did some company out there really do this?
Oh,
or was this some?
Almost guarantee it, dude. I almost guarantee. That's why.
Yeah.
And I'm just speaking out of my ass, but I would imagine people watch like, I've seen that before.
I've seen that in New York.
Yeah.
I've seen that in the FAA Schwartz. Yeah, like it. I can't imagine that it's just such a random, weird thing for someone to just come up with.
Yeah.
They must have got the inspiration from real life.
Well, of course. Second thing that stands out to me is, and I'm not sure if you caught it, but there's a soda machine behind them in this break area. Did you catch that? Okay. So this soda machine has each of the selections, the physical can right across the top. I guess it's like a 70s, maybe early 80s machine. But it just immediately, I have this distinct recollection. My dad used to play in this intramural basketball league on like Saturdays at the Salvation Army. So I have 3 brothers. So he would just drag us all there. The 4 of us are running around this place, like causing chaos the whole time because there's nothing else for us to do. And the dude, this guy, rest in peace. This guy, his name was Sec. This dude ruled. He had like a lazy eye and he was just the general maintenance groundkeeper. So he's like mopping the floor all the time, like sweeping the floor in between games or whatever. But he would always give us like, I think back then it might have been like 50 cents, maybe even a quarter every time we were there. So we'd go down and get sodas, right? And like the basement of this, it's like I think it was like a Bible study area, which it was kind of creepy now that I think back on it because it was like super dark and weird. But they had this exact soda machine in the back corner of it. And dude, every week it was either Orange Crush or Grape Crush.
Yeah.
Just Saturday, just sipping Grape Crush. Takes me right back there. But this
You're
machine
describing
just stands
this?
out and remind me of it.
Like in my mind's eye, I can see exactly what you're talking
Oh, yeah.
about. And this is such like I don't know if these kind of things exist anymore. Like obviously vending machines exist, right? But they used to be so different.
Some relic.
Yeah, I remember there's vending machines in my hometown outside of a store. Right. So at any point in the day, you could just walk up to this thing, put 50 cents in, get a can of soda.
Yep.
And so you could scrounge. I don't have any money when I'm a little kid. So as I'm walking around the courts and everything, the train tracks, oh, there's a quarter. Let me scoop that up. You'd see change or whatever, and you would scoop it up, and then, oh, I have enough to get a soda. This is
what's
tight.
Alarming for that is like we just stayed at a hotel recently, and it was like, dude, I want to say that it was. I mean, if you think you just go to the gas station nowadays, I mean, it's probably the 16.9 or the 20 ounce maybe bottle of soda is like 3 something.
Yeah,
dude, criminal.
It is criminal. You're right. And like now what they have is that vending machine where you put $1 in and it's like $1.50 or something, and they'll have monsters in it. They have one at my gym, and you hit the code for it, and it'll like pop down. But there's so many different choices now. The vending machines are different. It used to be there would be, let's say, 6 different choices, and you had no idea what was in this thing. It could have been coming from another dimension for all I knew. Inside there was a portal from another dimension. You have no idea. And you hit this plastic giant button, boom, and this can pops out.
Dude, the giant button was like, oh, dude, so epic. I remember that.
Yeah, and I guess
that's what this one was.
Like,
that's what this was. It was a giant.
Is that what
square.
it was? Yeah.
You hit it and the can comes down. But dude, take me back to that. I just miss it so much.
Big fan of just the way that Eddie is psychologically manipulating Vince this whole movie. Like at times, it's on the news. It's on the nose with the Balabushka pool cue.
Yeah.
Like he gives him this, here, kid, take this. But also hits him with some jabs like, yeah, your girl's going to leave you if you keep working in this toy store, bud.
Yep.
And, he sees that Vince has his back to her and is looking at this pool game, and he goes over and tells her something like, go grab me cigarettes from across the street, so that she leaves the bar, and then Vince freaks out. He's like, where is she? Oh! I don't see this relationship working out long term, to be honest with you. But
it's a very weird relationship. Again, chemistry between those two, I don't think was the best casting.
I agree.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But no, he we'll get into it later. But he definitely manipulates them, and it's like when you look back on it, it's like, was that the best play? Like, what was his motivation? And then I think by the end of the movie, you start to see, because it was almost like a movie of 2 separate acts where Eddie finally goes to the eye doctor and gets glasses. It's like, oh, this was the fix all along.
This is the most mind-blowing movie where at some point in this movie, you realize the first half of the movie doesn't matter anymore.
At all.
You're like, wait a second, dude.
Setting character development.
What was the point? Yeah, he's manipulating this guy and everything to go on the road, to get him to go on the road with them.
Mhm.
And you're like, doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
What?
It is very, very bizarre. But it's giving me vibes, and tell me if you agree with this movie, of Spy Game, which absolutely have to put on the list. This is one of my top movies of all time. It's Robert Redford and Brad Pitt. Same kind of thing, although he's trying to recruit him for the CIA, but it's like the same general vibe, right? You have the senior veteran, and he sees the talent in the young stud, the raw talent, and he could be top tier, an elite guy. Do you get that same kind of vibe from this?
Wants to walk away at some point, but can't do it.
Right.
Yeah, bit of that vibe, absolutely. And part of that is also because you have seasoned veteran actor like Robert Redford.
Yeah, dude.
And Brad Pitt's the new young actor up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, obviously, Paul Newman's the seasoned actor, and Tom Cruise is young Tom Cruise up and coming. So yeah, absolutely a similar vibe there. I feel that.
Yeah. Another thing that stood out to me, why is John Turturro always playing a Jewish guy in every movie? Did you take notice of this? Because in this movie, he comes up and he says, I'm a middle-aged Jewish guy from whatever. But it stood out in my mind. I'm like, okay, Barton Fink, he's John Stone in The Night Of. You got Miller's Crossing. He's Knish. We just covered Rounders. He's a rabbi in Plot Against America. It's like, I think he's Italian, but it's like, he's always just a random Jewish guy
in real life. Yeah, that's the powerful thing about it.
He's got like the ultimate typecast.
Think about that in Hollywood. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know that he wasn't Jewish.
Like, we're going to hire you.
And he just went with it.
He's like, all right, cool. Keep getting gigs. I'll take it.
Do you remember that movie, American Pie?
Yeah.
That guy, Jason Biggs, was the similar thing, Jewish in the roles that he was in.
Right.
And he came out later and was like, I think I was blackballed because it was revealed that I'm not actually Jewish, and I kept just going with it. And he stopped being in movies after that.
I feel like he was in, because I watched the first episode of that Orange is the New Black, and I think he was the husband. I don't know how much screen time he got in it, but I'm like, oh, that guy. But I haven't really seen him in anything since then, now that you mention it. Nothing of like noteworthy. Huh, fair enough. I mean, but it's funny because he's like, it sets him up for like the perfect rival for Vince. And I'm like watching this and I'm thinking to myself, okay, he wants to be on the road with Eddie, but Eddie doesn't care because he sees like this young stud, like this raw talent in Vince. And then it goes to the end of the movie and it's like, oh, he never really has this reveal of this rivalry, right?
Mm-hmm.
With this character. So it never, I mean, they see each other at the final pool tournament, but I'm watching this thinking like, okay, they're going to have a showdown later on. Instead, it just shows Turturro later on in the movie. And he's like, it's actually kind of a funny scene. He's like, how you doing, Eddie? And Eddie just kind of pops off on him. He's like, hey, man, I was just asking how you're doing.
Yeah,
like, you're here to play pool? Cool. If you like it, keep doing it. Kind of good.
It's funny, the things that you notice in movies. That's, I guess you could say there's a couple tropes we've developed over the course of our many episodes at this point. And this movie is like a treasure trove of regular menthol talking points. 80s bars. I love the 80s bars vibe.
Oh, yeah.
More than anything. And in fact, if you look at this bar in the beginning, it's almost exactly like how the L Bar is in Philadelphia, my favorite bar in the world, the best bar in America, the L Bar. And L Bar, pinball in the corner, pool table, and no TVs.
Yeah.
Except one TV that's up in the corner playing Dragon Ball Z 24/7 for some insane reason. And it's just the lighting is the same. It's so powerful, dude. I love 80s bars. Smoking cigs, diners in this movie. Right?
I was actually just telling this story to somebody, like I think it was past week. It was at my job, the new publisher we had. And I was telling them I'm from small town, and you've been to the Cripple Bear in my hometown. Well,
right.
There's this other bar called Frederick's, and it's actually just a trailer. So I took my wife there the first time she visited, and my brother's at this point, he's like a regular, right? So he's like, oh, we're going to go to Frederick's tonight. Long story short, you smoke in the bar, no TVs. If you want like food behind the They have a little bar food behind the counter. Somebody orders a pickle. There's like a big jar of pickles. The bartender just grabs his hand down there, picks one out for you, hands it to you.
Based.
So we drank all night. Me and my brother, his wife, my wife, currently at the time, my girlfriend. My other brother stops in with two buddies. They get a couple beers and shots, and then they skedaddle. This guy closes down the bar at 12 o'clock so he can go drink with everyone till 2 o'clock down the road at this other place. So my brother, I was waiting for this to happen too, because I was like, all right, let's close out and get over there. And my brother's like, all right, Kenny, so what do we owe you? Now, mind you, must have had between shots, drinks, there might have been just actual physical drinks, 60 to 70 drinks on the tab. He goes, pulls out his pad of paper, pencil. He's like, oh, Matt, I think $20 will square you up. Dude, my wife like died. She's shitting her pants. You throw him a couple $100, right, to cover it. And this reminds me of that, but it's like all they have in that bar though is tables and chairs, and then there's a dartboard. That's it. That's all they have. And it's
why are you going to a bar? Hypothetically,
drink and socialize.
Right. Now, what takes, in my mind, this is me, what takes away from the socialize?
TVs.
The fucking
they should be outlawed.
TVs, dog. Oh, the big games on TV. Let's watch 30 different televisions across the and everyone's just looking up at it. Oh my God, the big game. Oh, I love the Schwar bombs. Look at that guy swing a bat.
I think it's a distraction, bro. It's like they don't want people communicating with each other. So it's like you're uncomfortable.
There you go.
And it's like you're in the middle of a conversation or of a lunch, right? Now, mind you, I'm talking to this guy who I'm just meeting this first time this week, our publicist. I'm looking at him like right in the eye, talking to him directly, and we're just talking about all this crazy shit. Like not even looking at it. It's a sports bar with all these different TVs with things going on. I'm like, yeah, dude, forget that. Let's talk man to man. Mano y mano. What you got?
Yeah. You got to be able to get the people talking, folks. You got to get the people talking. And I don't know if you noticed, but people are somewhat hesitant to really just get into it with each other unless they got that little social lubrication going. But it doesn't really help if you're watching the big game and you're not talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should absolutely outlaw TVs from bars, my opinion. But the conversation after that in the diner scene is pretty keynote.
Yeah.
It's funny because Eddie says he doesn't play anymore because it's a young man's game. He's like, besides, guys are starting to use speed and amphetamines. He's like, back in my day, it was just booze. He ties it to the Bible because booze was around forever. Like, they just throw out this little biblical reference and it's just like cutscene. I was like, oh, what was that about?
Yeah. I saw that scene and my reaction was, this was some kind of weird thing that I would say.
Literally.
But it was almost like he's coping that he's not playing pool anymore and blaming it on the young kids, the modern era, right? It's like, in my day, we just drank booze.
Yeah. Hey, you got your amphetamines and all your drugs.
And by the way, what is he talking about? Like, is he suggesting that people are just doing speed?
I guess, yeah.
To play pool and get good at pool?
Well, it would seem like it would seem like it with how Vince acts the entire movie.
Yeah, this dude's cracked out of his mind. It makes you wonder, wait a second, is this guy just on speed this whole movie? Is that the hidden message of The Color of Money? Is that we're at a point now in the mid-'80s where you got to do speed to get ahead. Sorry, folks.
Yes. Well, speaking of that, they escape and he's got the bloody lip in the backseat. He's like, what do we learn from this? I think Eddie says, and Carmen brings up, lesson learned is nice guys finish last. Do you agree with that? Or is that just because the entire movie they're on a bunch of low-life lifers?
I think that the number one low-life lifer is Carmen.
Literally, bro. Literally.
I'm like, yeah, she's right. Vince, take the hint. Yeah. Take the hint what she's saying. This relationship isn't going to last. Get out, bud. Get out of this relationship. Become the pool player you need to be, bud. Just get out of this. Get rid of this woman.
Well, seemingly at the end, I mean, it seems like he does. I mean, she's obviously still around, but they have that final face-off. And he's like, I'm going to take you on the circuit. I'll see you in Dallas. I'll see you in yada yada. But it's like, all right, now the relationship will be tested now that they're on the road. right?
Yeah. Well, that's
if it
an
hasn't
absolute
already
fact.
been the entire movie.
How are you going to take your girlfriend on the road with you?
I don't know, man. It's interesting.
How's that possible? How is it possible that you, as a pool hustler, are going to take your actual girlfriend on the road with you?
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense to just not have a girlfriend? But not only that, the guy goes into a seedy pool hall and he's like, "Hey, you better go back to the motel. These guys look like a bunch of rapists."
Well, speaking of, he says the line of the movie there. He goes, "This used to be a nice, average, bad neighborhood. Now look at it. Like nice, average, bad neighborhood. Now look at it."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Imagine he sees downtown Chicago or certain areas of Chicago today. It's like,
well, yeah.
I don't think you know, bro.
Does that make sense to you? A nice, average, bad neighborhood?
Right. No.
That means Northeast Philly in the 70s.
Yeah.
A nice, average, bad neighborhood.
And now it's a what?
Now it's fucked. Now it's jacked up. It's not cool. It's not a good place.
I mentioned it before, but that Moselle dude is he's in the pool hall here, and it's like this is 1986. And everyone else is rocking that standard late 70s, 80s kind of look, and this dude just has. I have to mention it again. He's got this cowboy hat and Hawaiian shirt. I'm like, this is it. He's like kind of yoked too. It's like 6'9". This is a guy, and he says nothing too, which is like this is my character right here. This is my guy.
Yeah, very cool, calm, collected. Very good look. And yeah, it's kind of like,
But in a pool.
I mean, you mentioned, did you ever, when you were older, did you ever get involved in going to and playing pool at bars?
No, like I said, in high school, that was pretty much it. There was a table at the Cripple Bear, which you'd been to. And when my brother was living in my hometown, we'd go down there and we'd like visit in town. So we played, the people would be playing there to be shit-faced and suck, obviously. But yeah, but aside from that, dude, no, I haven't played pool in forever. I need to get into that.
Dude, I was
like
talking to my brother-in-law at one of my nephew's games recently, and he was saying like, just come up to Doylestown. He's like, I've been playing people in pool recently.
Nice.
I'm like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
I appreciate this so much because it's such a pool.
Gotta get into that
one
world.
avenue. Yeah. Exactly. I think he was really good at pool from before, so somehow he figured it out when he was young. But it's one avenue to get away from the typical reason you would go to a bar.
Right. Respect.
The big game. Hey, look, Mary Elizabeth, Master and Commander. I think she's attractive. Okay. All right. But this scene where Eddie walks in their hotel room and the camera pans over and she's just got her tits out in the bathroom.
Yeah.
First off, it's very abrupt and somewhat alarming. Like, whoa, lady. Second, I don't know. Those boobs are just kind of pretty depressing. Sorry.
Yeah, I meant to bring this up. I was going to say, the standard, is she hot? I mean, I think she's hot in Scarface. Maybe not this movie, which is, I think, a 3-year difference. Scarface was 83. So I do think she's hot. But yeah, it's like, it comes out of nowhere. But I will say, I mean, when she's laying on the bed, it's kind of sexy. And she like ties her top off or whatever. But I'll give her a yes, she's hot. The first time I've disagreed.
Huge endorsement, ladies and gentlemen. Huge endorsement.
Like I said, in Scarface, I think she's like super hot. But yeah, it is kind of like comes out of nowhere type thing in the movie. Which, I don't know. It's what it is. But anyway, Vince is playing Moselle and he's dancing to this music. Like we mentioned before, he's spinning around this stick like nunchucks, right? And I want to just believe this is Tom Cruise. I have to look up what he was in before this, like how big of a star he was at this point. I mean, you're 83. And I'm like, this has to be him on set all the time. It just has to be, right? And it reminded me of this video that you sent me, and maybe people listening have seen it. But this guy, he hires this Tom Cruise impersonator to come to his house. You know what I'm talking about. And dude, he shows up, and the impersonator, this has to be out in like California or something. And he looks exactly like him, sounds exactly like him to a T. And this guy's like, I just hired you for the day to just entertain me. I'm like, dude, this is something that you would absolutely do if you were a millionaire, and just weekly, probably, if not monthly, I feel like.
Yeah, like the premise is the guy is he just hires this impersonator to I guess I don't know if he tells him what is going on or whatever, but the guy gets to his house, the impersonator, and he's like, yeah, there's no party or anything. I just want you to sit here and hang out with me for like 3 hours.
It literally
And the guy's like, what do I do?
just go with he's like, you want the classics or what do you want to do? But he nails it. He sounds exactly like Tom Cruise.
And just starts popping off Tom Cruise lines.
Oh, so
and it's just them in a living room.
That's definitely you, bro. That's a you move.
So then we had this, this little pool hustling montage.
Mhm.
And one of the players where Vince plays against, skinny road guy, is played by Iggy Pop.
Yeah.
Now, this blew my mind.
Yep.
Okay. I see him instantly. I have to look him up because I see the face. I'm like, wait a second. Is that Iggy Pop?
Right.
Could that actually be Iggy Pop? Because I'm going to tell you, I've never seen Iggy Pop young before.
Right.
And it's one of those, after this movie was made, he immediately morphed into just an eternal 65-year-old man for 50 straight years. Like he's one of those guys where I'm like, was he ever young?
Right. He's an old boy.
I see him in this movie. I guess he was, but it blew me away. I was like, a young Iggy Pop? I didn't know that existed.
He's an old boy, bro. How many of those do we have?
He is an old boy. Yep.
You also get this incredible character name here. I don't know if you caught this, but he goes up against Grady Seasons.
Grady Seasons.
Bro.
Another
You're going to have to play him in the
Hollywood
tournament.
name.
You're going to have to play Grady Seasons in the tournament. Better get used to it.
They name drop Grady Seasons pretty early in the movie.
Oh, did he? Early? I didn't catch that.
It's when they're walking down a flight of stairs and Master and Commander's like, hey, who's good out there? Who's good on the circuit? And Eddie's like, well, you got this guy Grady Seasons. Let me tell you about him.
But does a lot of FaceTime in the movie. Well,
yeah.
Speaking of when he plays Grady, it's like kind of wild to me that it takes halfway through the movie for someone to talk a little bit of shit to him. You know what I mean? And get in his head. Because you notice right away, he's like, okay, I'm not going to let that slide. I'm going to take this guy out, right? Begs the question, how are you when it comes to heckling? I feel like for me, it's like, sometimes it makes me more locked in, but other times I'll get in my own head a little bit. I don't know.
I hate heckling, but I hate it so much because it's just like all my life, my friend Newsom would just heckle.
God.
That was how he got over. And I just wanted to kill him.
I've seen it in real life, IRL.
I just wanted to kill him. And so anytime that I take absolute just pleasure in beating him in games that don't matter, like shuffleboard, because this motherfucker is just standing next to me, just like heckling while I'm trying to shoot.
Yeah.
One of those people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can feel the aura.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. There's this dude when we used to play beer pong at our buddy Joe's house. And this one dude I could just feel him next to me, ready to just chirp as I'm about to shoot. And I would just dominate. Just like, bro, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Did you catch this other character though? Dud, that Eddie plays? Did you catch that guy with the glasses?
Dud? No, I didn't catch him.
So the guy, Eddie plays him when he first started getting back into it. And the guy has like a blonde bowl cut and glasses. And I'm like, dude, this is a K-Ben guy. This is like 100%, like a Reginald Ledoux from True Detective. Go back and watch her. Just look up Dud as his name.
We need a whole spin-off movie for Dud and his
look
story,
this guy
dog.
up, man. He looks completely in 70s, Coke bottle glasses. I'm like, this is the guy right here. This is the K-Ben guy of this movie. So good.
This whole movie, though, you're wondering, well, dude, why isn't Eddie playing pool himself?
Yeah.
He's such an expert in hustling.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, okay, maybe this guy's a pool player himself. And Vince even asked him at one time, you get like this vague response that you don't know if it's real or if it's him coping, right? And as it turns out, he can't see. Gee whiz, that was the problem all along. This guy gets a glasses prescription and he's back in the game.
Yeah.
But it's just like, notice, it looks like he's doing all these shots himself on screen.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Is that impressive or what?
I think I read in the fun facts that Scorsese was obviously Newman seemingly does all his own shots. There's a couple where they're kind of grainy. I'm like, okay, could that be a double? Either way, respect if it was. Apparently Tom Cruise did all his shots as well. but there's the one where it's the jump shot, which Scorsese didn't let him do because it would have taken an extra, I guess he said 2 to 3 weeks of filming, and he wanted to keep it again within the time frame and the budget. But yeah, dude, I mean, I have a respect for that. It's like, make the actors do this shit instead of just cut and frame and just lazy, have like a professional pool player do it and just show their hands. It's like, if you notice multiple times, I think there's the one where Newman does off the rail, the 8-ball, he like backspins it and the 8-ball goes in. And then he just, in the same shot, walks over and hits the 9-ball in. It's like, how many times did that take? And then to have the pressure of like hitting the 9-ball right after. I mean, you have a million takes to do it, but it's like, it's a pretty impressive shot, I will say.
Especially if you're not good at pool. Yeah. Ahead of time, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
It's just, it's such an abrupt change in this movie where all of a sudden he's not taking this guy on tour. He just decides to play pool by him on his own.
Right.
You're like, what the fuck just happened in this movie? The rationale for it is crazy. I need to get prescription glasses.
It is kind of alarming.
Like, what, dude? Why didn't you do that 10 years ago?
It took Forrest to bring it out of him.
There is like Forrest Whitaker, right? Incredible.
Great scene, by the way, Forrest Whitaker.
Great scene. He gets hustled by Forrest Whitaker. He starts crying, almost. You're like, what the fuck is actually going on here, Doug? And I guess there is the end of The Hustler where he tells him to get out and like, you're done in pool,
right,
or whatever. But dude, I think that's like way long ago. That guy might be dead.
Yeah,
I think you can start playing pool again, brother.
And then I love how Eddie's girl just comes in with this majestic silver pool cue thing or whatever that is, chalk or whatever. Like, what's going on there? Like, this was the missing element for Eddie, aside from getting an eye test. He needs this like majestic little chalk. Now everything's ready. Now I can play.
Magic chalk. The magic ability. Now this is superstition type stuff.
Maybe.
Superstitions, I feel like, probably play even more of a bigger role in pool.
Yeah.
Than other sports. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But it does seem like this is a lot of mental stuff going on. So you just had that.
That's a good point. Perhaps.
The magic cue.
Yeah.
The magic chalk. Here we go. I'm back in the game. Do you notice in the tournament, though, they pull out these just incredible V-neck sweater vests?
Yeah, dude. Yes. Bring them back, please. That's mid-80s.
Was this some kind of standard
yes, it was.
Uniform for pool players in the 80s?
I say that based on nothing, but I'm going to say yes. 100% it is.
It seems like that because all the guys in this movie, they start wearing these sweater vests with the button up underneath, the collar coming out.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm not playing pool with a long sleeve polo shirt and rolling the sleeves up to my elbows. You need that. You know what I mean? I just refuse to. I used to rock long sleeve button up shirts and then roll up to the sleeves, but it just bothers my elbows too much. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go short sleeve all the time. So you'd only be able to play pool properly in a short sleeve shirt.
Right. Like the reason you might roll up your sleeves is because you're playing a game of pool. So you need that extra flexibility there. But if you're a professional pool player, you could just completely get rid of that and just have some other kind of
just wear short sleeves.
Exactly.
That's all you need. Yeah. But no, this was a look for sure in the 80s.
Vince comes in Eddie's room and he says so Vince and Eddie played in the tournament against each other and Eddie wins. And then Vince comes in and he says he laid down to him to win a bet.
Yeah.
This causes Eddie to get pissed because now he doesn't know if he truly beat Vince or not. Right. He decides to forfeit his next match.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Mid game, he just says, you know what? Not into it. Starts unscrewing his pool cue. And he goes to challenge Vince in the green room. I'm left wondering, what the hell is this movie about?
Good question.
He decides to help Vince. Then halfway through, decides to just get glasses and play himself.
Yeah.
Then forfeits because Vince says he laid down to him. In any event, like, the last scene, the movie ends with him going like, "I'm back,"
Yeah.
And it's like, what was this about? Was it just about playing the best, beating the best.
For me, yeah, this is the reveal scene. I think it's easily the best part of the movie, obviously. But the look on Eddie's face when Vince tells him that he dumped the game is kind of epic. It's like the floor falls from underneath him, right? So he's like,
yeah,
pissed. It's like he finally learned the hustle, which he was trying to get him to do. And it's like, this guy, he keeps mentioning, like, I'm babysitting children, right? And it's like, well, he should be happy because he finally learned the hustle, right? And he made money on it. But now that he's in, like you mentioned, he's pissed because he's like, dude, I'm better than this kid. Like, cause you see that switch turn right when he's back in and he gets like his eye test or whatever. It's like, okay, now I'm back in. Now I'm locked in. I didn't want you to throw this one, but there's no way he could have possibly known Vince because he didn't tell him to. He's like, he didn't tell him ahead of time, but it's like, dude, I don't care about winning this stupid tournament. I'm just like a raw talent. Like, you can be concerned with that because he's like, he even mentions, he's like, I only have so many games left. Right. So to me, that's kind of what it's about. And I just, that's, you really get a George W. Bush vibe here for Eddie. It's like, he's in it for the love of the game. Okay. It's not about anything else. It's not about the money. He's in it for the love of the game.
That's what's crazy though. It's called, the movie's called The Color of Money. Mm-hmm. Seemingly it should be about money. You're teaching this guy how to hustle to get money. And then all of a sudden it shifts. Now it's about you being good at pool.
Well, yeah, because now he knows he can play again. That's all.
And then, yeah, and it's like, you're right. Vince figures out finally how to hustle, lays a good bet, gives him the money, and then he quits the tournament that would seemingly give him $50,000.
Right. But to
a lot of money.
Yeah, but exactly. But to Vince's defense, he doesn't know this. He's been getting drilled into his head by Eddie that's like, okay, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Yeah. The girl doesn't want you working this job, yada, yada, yada. So it's like, how could he know any better? He doesn't care about winning this tournament, right? The one problem that I do have, the one big plot hole, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like, this is the mid-'80s, right? Non-ball is obviously popular enough to fill this venue, and I think Eddie even mentions that it being on TV and popular on TV because it's like a quicker game and it's louder and everything. It's like they had this tournament in, what is it, AC or something? So they have a bunch of these amateur players that everyone knows. Okay, why wouldn't the pros just come in and play this game for $50,000? Because $50,000 in the 80s is a chunk of change. You would just seemingly have all the pros come in because you can tell by the shots. And like, I guess he was blowing the game, Vince, but seemingly these are just amateurs and they would lose to pros. Pending that it's an amateur competition, which it never states that. But aside from it being that case, wouldn't the pros just come in and clean house? Major plot hole. Major plot hole.
Folks, the
movie is debunked.
Ball. This is a debunked movie at this point. I've never played 9-ball. I've only played the other style. What's it called?
Straight pool. Yeah, but 9-ball.
Hey man,
9-ball's legit.
I forget. Are you stripes or solids? I forget.
It's literally it, dude. That's the name of the game. Yeah, but that's my only real problem with this movie. But there's not like too much going on, man, and that's why Kino rating. I'm gonna give this a 7.5. Right? There's not really much to this movie. In terms of stylized, soundtrack, stuff we always talk about behind the camera, for me, it's just good writing, good acting. Okay. And it's like this, and again, like I said, I don't even know that it's the best juxtaposition between characters that I always mention, but it does evolve and I do appreciate it by the end of the movie. But I just like Newman's character, and it's a real deep dive into him being this seemingly lifer who is like really good amateur, getting back into it. And he kind of, takes his kid under his wing, and you see the evolution of Tom Cruise's character throughout the movie. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's the writing and the acting is obviously what makes this movie really good. But yeah, Paul Newman's the man. That's all I gotta say. What about yourself? What do you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just give it a 7. It's like, for me, the thing that makes this movie is the cool nature of Paul Newman.
Yeah, definitely.
At some point in watching this, I said, this is kind of like watching a movie starring my grandfather, who would basically wear the same kind of stuff that Paul Newman would wear in this movie.
Hell yeah.
And he would just go golfing every day down the street, the Sandy Run Golf Club.
Mhm.
He would just go golfing all the time. So this dude's just rocking slacks, a sweater vest,
Love it.
sport coat all the time.
Love it.
I'm like, I'm watching my grandfather, basically. And that's what people wore back in the day. Slacks, sport coats, suits, like all the time.
Respect.
Powerful. But
Bring it back.
imagine this movie without Paul Newman.
I don't think it would be a movie without Paul Newman. I'm sure
It
there's
would
guys
be-
that could have
well,
played the role, but
Yeah, it's good dialogue, good acting, but there's something about this movie that just is it's just Paul Newman Kino that kind of gets it over, in my opinion. If Paul Newman wasn't in this would be another one of those movies where you'd be like, this is a young Tom Cruise movie that's kind of cool, a hidden gem, a cult classic, but it wouldn't be like, this is a really awesome movie.
Yeah.
It's made awesome in my mind because Paul Newman's just swag, his drip. Yeah, his cool factor, his aura.
Je ne sais quoi.
His je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. I agree.
Next week, we are fusing the Kino cinematic universe with the Marvel cinematic universe when we discuss perhaps the only superhero movie that we will ever discuss, Iron Man 2.
Oh, God. Well,
Brace
just to throw it
yourself,
out there,
Big
folks,
Chris.
I have not seen any Marvel movies ever. And it's not
This
because...
is unbelievable.
It's not because, I have a disdain for him. I'm not entertained by him. So we shall see. We shall see. Isn't this the one with our boy, Sam Rockwell?
Yeah.
As the villain?
Spoiler alert. It's Sam Rockwell's in it. So
Okay,
we're just going to be
Colin.
talking about Sam Rockwell the whole time.
Until then, get you on the next one.